This is us, how we sail to Sardinia and then continue to Mallorca and then pass on all the way the Spanish coast towards Gibraltar. It's us, of course, repairing some things that need fixing and enjoying night sails and all the beauty that the sea has to offer. And of course, there's some more detail on boat life as a family and a boat tour. So let's go. Now we're heading to Sardinia. Let's see, we have a 24-hour, 48-hour passage and little adventure again.
Luca, what are you doing? Kannst du mal sagen, was du da machst?
For Luca, the whole boat is a playground. There's probably no space where he can't climb. And since the boat is constantly moving, you find your spaces and places where you're comfortable. So here we are, preparing dinner. Everything is a bit shaky. We're gonna have tuna. Another beautiful sunset. Look at these happy clouds. Then we have another issue. Our radar is not working. Trying to find out what we need to do. This is getting dark slowly. And we're gonna need the radar to see the ships around it. Well, it's gonna make things a lot easier. It should be working, but it doesn't have electricity at all. It doesn't respond at all. So let's see how we can solve that. It's 3 o'clock. I just started my night shift. Fortunately, there's not much wind. It's just coming up now, starting. Little waves, but enough to make us swim like a nutshell in the water. Try to sleep until now. But you have to get used to. You're constantly rolling from the left to the right. The moon, it's new moon. Supposed to come out at 3 o'clock. I can't even see it yet. But the stars are crazy. It's so beautiful. I've never seen so many stars. Okay, so here I am. Until 6 o'clock I'm going to spot the lights in the boats in the weather. Our radars still not working. I do love that morning shift because I always get to see the sunrise, which usually is just stunningly beautiful. And then at some point, 6-7ish, Luca will get up and come cuddling outside, and that's how we start the day. And this is Sardinia already, the south part, Cagliari, where we stayed in the marina. We climbed up the mast, checked everything, and repaired our little deck light. The view from up there is quite spectacular. I love it. Once work was done, of course, we went to discover the city. After a short trip, it was 30 hours only on the boat, but of course after that, all our bodies want to move, and walking feels great. And of course, Luca needs his action and space to ride his scooter, to climb playgrounds and so on. So this is always a lot of fun.
Biliyor musun? Böyle ben refile çıkarsak böyle hepsi çıkarsa birden böyle kaldırırım böyle bunu. Böyle alırım.
Arrivederci. Leaving Cagliari after one day only. We didn't see much from the city, but we were able to repair many things. Cagliari Marina was fairly expensive, and we didn't enjoy the city, so we decided to leave and move on. It was a fairly short trip, one day only. We just wanted to move on towards the west coast of Sardinia to be ready to cross over to Mallorca once the weather showed good conditions for that. Of course, on passages where it's more wavy and everybody is tired, other games and activities are rather difficult. There's more screen time allowed, and Luca really finds the most funniest positions to watch his films. We arrived to our destination in the evening just before the sun would set, which is always very helpful because arriving in a new place in darkness can be quite a challenge when you don't see all these obstacles. Seems like a very romantic place. It's quite windy. It was more like an industrial marina with fisher boats and freighters. Our neighbor boat. Very sympathetic. First, the harbor police was gonna send us away because they were loading military equipment onto that freighter. But then they agreed to let us stay, and it was actually quite a good spot. There was lots of space next to our boat for Luca to ride his scooter and run around. And it was just a short hop into the town.
Evet. Merhaba. Ben Rico, Mangabeletto ve dev bir balık yakaladık. Bye bye.
Crossing over that bridge, we got to San Pietro. We actually ended up spending 3 or 4 days there. And it was a really cute fisherman town with a huge park and lots of activities and possibilities for Luca to play. It was really cool, relaxed. Wow! Da hinten ist unsere Marina, neben dem großen Tanker. Da hinten irgendwo ist unser Boot. Da in der Mitte. We had rain coming up. We drew our Bossanova with our dream sail in rainbow colors. Luca got his first fishing rod. And the next morning it was time to make a birthday cake, and luckily I have a very good helper who loves to bake. And then we continued to Carloforte. On the way, one shackle came loose, and a rope came off that was holding up the boom. So it dropped down onto our spray hood, and we had to catch the rope, which wasn't so easy in the waves and the boat moving. But we got it fixed and back on. Meanwhile, the weather was getting a bit rougher. Wind and clouds, thunderstorm, actually rain.
We are at Carloforte. This is the island called San Pietro, the southern part of Sardinia.
We really liked Carloforte. The marina was cute, was very clean, small, sanitary facilities great, and the city was just walking distance, a nice size. You could find everything, walk around, lots of activities for kids. And we were lucky on the weekend. There was a belly dancing show. This was irony, coming all the way from Turkey, finding belly dancing in Italy. And then it was time to leave. The weather conditions were good for the crossing to Mallorca. Wind was gonna be okay, but there were gonna be waves and some thunderstorms, possibly rain waiting for us. So why do we have a car seat on board? Well, when we're out cruising or sailing, Luca needs to wear either his life jacket or not to fall off or to be safe, or he can sit in this chair, be buckled in so he can't fall off the boat even if there's wave or wind or something unexpectedly coming. And this one is a 360. Let me see with one hand. We can turn it, so whatever side the boat is aiming, whatever side he feels comfortable or he wants to see or the wind is coming from, he can sleep and turn, and we can connect it on this side of the boat, and we even have connectors for Isofix on the others. Well, we installed something to connect the Isofix, so it's really practical. So thanks Denise for advising me to get this baby car seat for the boat. This day sailing was fun. Wind was really nice, the waves were not too high, and there was not much traffic around us. And the bad weather clouds, they kept being far away towards Africa, so it was really nice. Tea time, coffee time, somewhere in the middle of the Mediterranean. For many passages we had been fishing, but were unlucky not catching anything. So when we heard the fishing line go, it was a big excitement. From how much the fishing rod was tilting towards the sea and how difficult it was to really collect the line, we understood it's a huge fish. It was really difficult to get it closer. When it was just in the back of our boat, it went left and right. We got a glimpse of it, and it was a huge tuna. We estimate probably 30, 40, 50 kilos. It was huge. So huge that we really didn't know how to even get it on board. Luckily, it just escaped in the last minute, and I think it was good for us and of course for the fish to live a happy life. Short after we caught another fish that we were actually able to get on board, and we were very grateful to have a beautiful fish for dinner. Colors and mood outside were like unreal. It felt a bit like Truman Show. We arrived from Sardinia last night. Today is the 4th of October. We came with a 40-hour trip. Wind was okay, well, not too much, motoring. But we arrived safely. In the middle of the night we anchored, and now we woke up in Mallorca. So here we are. Arriving in Mallorca Marina. Wasn't so easy to get a space, but we got one. Of course, we went to discover Palma, which is a lovely city, and we had the best ice cream.
Kaymak ve limon.
Limon? Mama, die leckerste ice cream. After some sightseeing, we had a long list of things that needed to be repaired. One task was exchanging the pump from our water maker, which is the machine that makes sweet water out of salty water, the water that we use on the boat, also the water that we use for drinking. So it's quite an important thing. The pump wasn't easy to get, so Ekber brought it from Turkey, and we found a good mechanic to install it. Here we are, our first electric car ride. Lovely, no sound. And how do we
Andrax'a geldik.
In Andrax?
Evet.
Bye bye, Mallorca. It was nice being with you, even though a bit hectic and too short. We sailed through the night and arrived on the coast of Formentera the next morning. There's a saying in Turkish that when you go on a world tour with your boat, you will be in the most beautiful cities and places repairing your boat. And that's definitely how it is for us. So here we are in front of Formentera, one of the most beautiful beaches in the Balearic Islands, and we're again repairing and fixing something on the boat. And then we exchanged some ropes of our main sail that were getting old, and we had bought new ones in Palma, and we're just then putting them into place to be equipped for the Atlantic crossing. Despite us really wanting to stay in Formentera and spend some time, we decided to continue sailing. The weather was right and we had friends we were going to meet in Gibraltar, so we didn't want to lose time.
Atlas'cığım, biz de seni çok özledik. Luka, evet sen de söyle.
Bye bye.
Geliyoruz değil mi?
We had rain coming, the wind was getting stronger, and this is dinner. The night was quite okay, and this was one of these cuddly mornings again. We then opened the Christmas season and decided to bake some cookies.
Bu kadar olur mu?
Did get a bit shaky once in a while, and I was sliding to the kitchen, but otherwise the waves were quite fair. Here we go. Luca? Someone likes to eat the decoration.
Bir bu, ne bu, ne bu.
Für wen ist das? Kim için?
Mavi için. Bye bye.
And that's how we arrived to the Spanish mainland. Our first marina was Cartagena. Back in the years, Cartagena was a city of trade and wealth, and now rather quiet, beautifully renovated and a bit touristic. We continued sailing along the Spanish coast, seeing lots of dolphins, so many families, catching fish.
Nice.
Lucky, we were lucky again. And continued to Almerimar. Okay, so here's a boat tour. There we go. And here we are. Our upstairs, basically our living room where we spend most of the time. That's where we drive the boat in the back. And that's the front. Today was washing day, so sorry for the mess. Here we actually do have a fresh basilicum and chili peppers because we like spicy food. And that's where it goes downstairs. There we are. Our living room dining table. That's the captain's desk with all the important switches and buttons and information and radio. And here on the other side is our kitchen. The stove, coffee machine, yes. Good coffee is important for us. The sink. Here we are. Everywhere underneath these seats, underneath the ground. Everywhere there are either machines or there's storage. So for example here, underneath in the store, we have all the noodles. That's our bedroom. Luca, interesting position to watch. Most probably Tom and Jerry. That's our bedroom. Another desk, our closet. And here's our bathroom. Little sink, toilet, and there's our shower. And then over here, behind the captain desk and behind the kitchen, there's another room. This is Luca's room. Here we go. Toy heaven. We made a nice bed, really cozy, so we can roll to every side and not get hurt. All the books. And there's another toilet. Here we go. It's a bit smaller. Sink, toilet, and if you took the floor pad away, this becomes a shower and fresh air. Here we go. That's where how we spend our time. That's our home. Mit wem? Wen hast du gesehen heute Nacht im Traum?
Maviye. Atlasları ve kareleri herkes gördü.
Ne yaptınız?
Parti.
Oh, ne güzel.
Ama kostüm partisiydi.
Ya.
Ve mavi Elsa'yı giydim. Ben de Spider-Man giydim.
Tamam. Atlas Sarar ne giydin? Hatırlıyor musun?
Iron Man.
Bye bye, I'm Mary-Mar. I haven't seen too much, but it was a cute, spacey marina. We had a beautiful Greek night yesterday and met some really nice neighbors, Doris and Stefan. After one more night sail, we arrived finally in Gibraltar. Here we are. We arrived in Gibraltar this morning. Finally we made it. Yeah. I still can't believe it. Our first leg is done. Tomorrow it's 2 months exactly that we're on the boat, on the road, on the water. And we made it. It's 2,000 miles from home that we have discovered. And it feels really good. Feels nice. Yeah. So I'm kind of proud that we made it. And now next week we have some things here to do. And next week I guess we're going to start our Atlantic adventure. So the next part is coming.
Yeah, Luca! Yeah, our adventure continues.
Yes.
Luca. Oh.
And this is our last stop before we get out onto the Atlantic and start on our big adventure. If you want to know how it continues, then follow us on YouTube or Instagram. Bye bye.